Hello, everyone. Andy Jacob here with the DotCom Magazine Entrepreneur Spotlight Series. What a show today. You know, I've been waiting for this show for a number of weeks. Everybody knows who watches the show that we love health. We love health and fitness around DotCom Magazine. We're talking about it all the time. We're always reaching out to sort of leaders in this particular field that control a certain space or have a unique way in which they look at the space or a unique offering in the space. And we've been able to book today someone who's called the Zen Boss. I mean, I love that so much. Her name is Samantha Bove, and she's got something called the ZenBoss Academy. Wait till you hear about this academy. I mean, it's absolutely remarkable. She really specializes in the health and wellness space. So when it came across our desk, we said, listen, we need to get Samantha on the show. She's training people really how to be self-sufficient, how to build a business from ground up, how to take their passion and what they love in the health and wellness space and turn it into a business. I mean, it's great. So she has these training programs. She has these videos that she does. She does one-on-one training. She's a consultant, but she takes what you love to do in the health and fitness space and helps you turn it into a real money-making business. And it's such a great and brilliant idea that she has at ZenBoss Academy. Samantha, welcome to the DotCom Magazine Entrepreneur Spotlight Series today.
Thanks for having me. I can't wait to talk about all this.
Okay, well, this is super cool. I mean, you have a great energy. When we spoke on the phone, I mean, we just sort of, hit it off because we both love health and fitness so much, and we both love entrepreneurialism so much. I call you, the queen of the Zen, but let's get into it. Let's pull the lens back to 30,000 feet to start the show. And we're going to dive in because I have so many questions. And a lot of the viewers have sent questions in to me, specifically when we found someone like you on the show. But let's pull the lens back to 30,000 feet and tell us about the ZenBoss Academy.
Okay, well, ZenBoss Academy, it's an online business school. So we have students come in from everywhere, from the States to Japan, to Italy, to Spain. And what it does is it really gives you everything that you need to set an unshakable foundation for an online business. So from the sales strategies to building your first digital offer, to understanding how to utilize social media, to engage with your dream clients and start to turn, as you said, your passion into an actual profitable business.
Yeah, I love it. It's so remarkable. There's people all over the world. There was this buzzword going around for a while. It still is going around called digital nomads. But there's so many people that have this idea now that they want to start their own thing. They want to be an entrepreneur. They know that it's going to be tough. They want to work 100 hours a week for themselves versus 40 hours a week for somebody else. But they don't really know where to turn. They don't really have someone that understands it from A to Z. They don't understand how to craft a story and where to go to start this business. So let's talk about that, because in your training program, you help people with this all along their journey. So what's the first step? What's that first conversation start like with someone that's heard about your academy, of course, online, on social? People are talking about it everywhere, and they say, hey, Samantha, tell us about what you can do and how do we get involved?
Yeah. So the first step in I'll tell you, the first step in a conversation with somebody that I always want to know is why. Because if you're getting into the health and wellness and fitness space specifically, you've got to have heart in it, right? People can feel that if you're just, in it to just make a profit. Of course, that's part of it. And we love money here because it furthers our ability to do what we're passionate about and make a positive impact on the world. But it's really starting with the why. So in the first, there's really 4 layers, but in the first step, when you come into the academy, it's identifying what it is that's actually unique about your offer, and then finding who are those people that would be the best fit for it. So taking you through that really extensive market research, which is probably one of the most common overlooked steps when starting a business, is that validation of, is my offer something that somebody's actually going to pay money for?
Yeah, that's remarkable. And that's a great way to approach it. And of course, my team brought it over to me and they said, listen, look what Samantha's doing. It almost looks like business in a box. I mean, she's teaching people what to focus on every day of the week. I mean, from marketing to content creation, financial planning, admin work, all the way down to organizing your inbox and how to sort of look at your social channels to maximize, the efficiency of the social channel. So when people come to you, let's talk about some spaces. Like, where are they coming from? What do they want to do? Do they want to change the world in nutrition? Maybe they want to change the world in helping people with, yoga or Pilates or something like that. Sort of, what are the spaces that you focus in on for your clients?
You just named a couple. So we have people everywhere from acupuncturists who are burnt out in their physical practice and want to teach other people, certain types of functional medicine or Chinese medicine things online all over the world. We have personal trainers who want to launch their virtual online platforms. We have dietitians who, again, are just burnt out doing clinical work and want to step into more of coaching or seeing clients online. We have, therapists, we have yoga instructors looking to build membership programs. It's really across the board in this health and wellness arena.
Yeah, it's so interesting. My wife and I were out to eat and we started talking to the server, and it was like one of these health food restaurants, of course, so everybody's all healthy and talking about health and everything. And we started talking to her, and she started talking to us about nutrition. And as we left the restaurant, she gave me a card. I don't know if she was supposed to do that, but she did. And she said, hey, check me out. They call me the nutrition guru. Here's my sort of, brand on Instagram. If you have any questions about nutrition, it's my passion. I just do this sort of to pay for my night gig as a nutritionist. And it got me thinking that, people like that, they love what they're doing, and they really need to create a captivating personal brand to really stand out with their brand story. So let's talk about that, because that's one of your expertises, and that's one of the reasons why people come to the Academy.
Yeah, absolutely. So that's also part of the phase one, is with that why and what makes you and your product unique. It's you. It's your lived experience. It's everything that led up to the moment of you saying, oh, I want to teach someone else what I know. I want to give somebody the steps, the guidance, the blueprint, so that they don't have to spend as much time and make as many mistakes as I did to have this positive experience in my life. And so I love building the story of who people are. And I call it a magnetic story framework, because it's really magnetizing and everybody has a magnetizing story. I just want to say that. So if you're listening to this and you're like, I'm just not that unique, I haven't had that many big things, or I haven't overcome that many challenges, that's okay. Part of having a magnetizing story is also just being relatable, right? Because if somebody can't relate to your story or see themselves through your journey in some type of way, it would be a terrible story. So I guarantee you have a beautiful story. It's really just about starting with unpacking those moments in your life that were those sliding glass door moments. Before that moment, you were one way. After that moment, you were another way. And it could be anything from a book that you read, to a breakup that you had, to a health journey that you experienced. And then starting to really bring that into the public sphere, starting to just talk about it. You can do this before you even know what you want to do with your business. Just start posting it on your social media and telling people, hey, I want to tell my story, and see what pieces start to resonate with people. And then you go from there.
Yeah, that's so great. And of course, you help people with that story. And the other thing that you do that's so remarkable, Samantha, is you really help your clients really discover the exact language, really, to make their clients sort of take an action or understand what their vibe is, or understand what they're trying to get across, so they do something to improve their lives. And I think you call it discover the exact language your soul clients use. So let's talk about that. That's super interesting.
Yeah. So I really like to work with people who I like. And all my clients are the same, especially if you're in coaching. It's intimate in nature. And so I say soul clients because I believe that that's, at the end of the day, all we are. And behind my hair and the jewelry and the way that I look and the slight Jersey accent you might hear in the background, I'm just, a soul in here. And that's really what I like to teach with my marketing is how are we emitting the energy that we want to draw into our businesses so that we're surrounded by clients and teammates and partners like yourself that we actually enjoy being in their presence. And with the finding the language of your soul client, that's a piece of the market research. So all you really have to do to have something that is profitable to sell, whether it be an ebook or a coaching package or an online course, a training, teacher training, anything, is just be a few steps ahead of where your ideal client is right now. Just a few steps. You could be 6 months ahead of them, and somebody will be willing to save themselves the time by investing in what it is that you have to teach them. But since we're over here and our ideal clients are maybe say 6 months or maybe 10 years behind us in their education on a certain topic, what we forget as experts in our field or entrepreneurs on the journey is that we're speaking from where we are today, but we have to speak to where they are over here on their journey. So that's another part of understanding your story and really consistently going back to where you used to be when you first started, and then doing the market research necessary to really find what are the words that they're using. We do that through interviews and a whole bunch of other things to gather that market research so that our sales actually convert because they can understand what we're saying.
Yeah, that's so powerful. I mean, for the people watching the show, rewind what Samantha just said. It's almost a little mini Harvard MBA she just gave you right there. It's really interesting. And the way in which you've put together the Academy, I mean, it's remarkable. This is not something where, it takes 14 or 15 minutes and all of a sudden the people know everything under the, earth about how to do this. I mean, these are courses, these are online business foundations that you give. You call it to embody your Zen boss, which I love, and you help these people monthly. So let's talk about that. How many months is the Academy? What's to be expected once I join?
Yeah, so the Academy is 4 months long, and it's an intensive. So it's for people who are ready to launch a profitable online business and commit time. And so what to expect is that first phase, like I said, it's mastering your story, really unraveling your why, what's unique about you, what's going to draw in your soul client to actually work with you. And it's also identifying what your areas of expertise are. And don't let that word expertise scare you, okay? You might not feel like an expert, but I say anybody who is committed to learning all there is about one specific field now and say for the next 5 to 10 years, you're so excited to keep learning about this topic, that's an expert as long as you're committed. Identifying your expert topic and then doing that market research to find out not only who your ideal soul client is, but how they're speaking. Do you want me to move into phase 2?
Yeah, well, phase 2, I think, is month 2, right?
Is month 2, exactly.
And that's, where you help them craft the irresistible offer, help them build their Instagram, create this powerful partnership with the community. Yeah, but let's talk about that a little bit more because that's fascinating how you help the people do that.
Yeah, so right into month 2 is when we're actually building what it is that you're selling, which for some people could take them years and we got it done in a month. So it could be an online course. Like ZenBoss Academy essentially is. It could be a membership for your virtual yoga. We've even had people build their retreats that they're hosting in Bali or around the world. And we validate that with that market research we compiled in month 1. Then we also turn to your, what I call power partners, who are complementary figures in your space who you can team up with and do collaborations with. And they're really those influencers who are going to help build your online communities, because one of the biggest things is people feel like I don't have a presence. And what we do is we leverage other people who, even if they have a small following, could really help us grow. And then we throw in all the other stuff with social media, like copywriting, how you conduct a caption, and how you really speak about your services online to make those sales.
Yeah, I love it. And of course, a lot of people, whatever space they're in, but in your space in particular, the health space, the fitness space, the nutrition space, they're a chef, but they love nutrition, or they love, herbs, and they want to help people's lives by making sure they, live the right type of lifestyle, adding some, great nutritional components and some physical components, some mind components, some spiritual components, the whole thing. they might say to themselves, I love all this, Samantha, but I don't like to sell. I'm not a salesperson. I that's foreign to me. In month 3 of your training, you get into sales mastery, right?
Yeah. And that is my favorite topic. I will say in this health and wellness industry, which is a $4 trillion industry and growing astronomically, there's so much room to make an impact and to make a really beautiful living for yourself. The fear around sales and the stigma that salespeople have so unfortunately been given is one of the biggest reasons why people don't just get started. And really, I have 100% success rate of people loving to make sales. I will say that. And these are all people who are spiritually minded and compassionate and empathetic, and they love sales because done right, it's actually one of the most generous, healing things you can do for somebody is to be on a sales call with them, deeply listen to them, hear what they're saying to you, hold that really, really supportive container for them, and then offer something to them if they're the right fit that is going to absolutely transform their lives. I literally can't think of anything more generous and just enjoyable than that.
Yeah, it's so powerful and people love it. And once they go through the training, they get to the 3rd month. And by month 4, they're sort of ready to go. And I really love because month 4 in the program, you're launching and enrolling, new clients for your clients. And that's really an exciting time. And they start seeing the power of what they've learned and they start understanding, maybe they thought they didn't like to sell, but now they've got someone who's actually paying them for their offering. And they're starting to see this person create a new life by becoming a more healthy person, or maybe following some nutrition advice, or maybe, following them on Zoom in their Pilates class or something like that, where they can actually see now and feel, what it's like to not only be a successful entrepreneur, but to take their passion and turn it into something that makes them money. But in return, they're helping people. Isn't that just like the greatest part of month 4 in your program?
It absolutely is. And I also think month 4 is really unique for the program because a lot of online business building programs don't actually walk you through that launch period. They'll give you some, tips or suggestions of how to move through it, but I'm there with you. And so is the community of your fellow ZBA students. Cheering you on, holding your hand. If there's a sticky point with a potential client, you have a place to ask all of those questions. And it is nothing short of magic in there in month 4. The shift from people realizing, oh my gosh, I did this. Oh my gosh, this marketing and social media stuff actually works and it could be fun. That's the game changer.
Yeah, I love it. And it's so interesting because you have to you have to dip your toes into different ponds because you're a coach, of course, that really is genuinely interested in your clients, okay? And you're also a coach that's genuinely interested in your client's business. And you're also a coach that, because you're interested in your clients and interested in your client's business, you also have to be interested in their health and well-being. So you sort of wrap this big bow around this program, which is so remarkable. Where did that come from? I mean, tell us a little bit about this journey, because it's just a perfect sort of offering that I feel that you've had for so many people that are loving what you've done. Where did you come up with this entire idea, Samantha? Because it's remarkable.
Thanks for asking that. So it really comes back to my senior year in college. I kind of landed in a CEO position of a startup. Of course, I didn't just land there. I went from intern to CMO to CEO in about 6 months. I helped them rebrand their company. Sales quadrupled. I was as amazed as everybody else that all of my opinions and different things were actually working. And what it came down to really was that I was a conscious consumer. It was a soup company, super healthy, and I knew the market. I've been obsessed with studying the wellness industry for years. And I went on to raise venture capital for about 2 years for that company. I had mentors and so much support, and I read so many books, and I scaled the company. We about 10x the revenue over that time, secured venture capital, and I was so burnt out inside, like so physically ill. And I remember thinking, wow, I'm having all this support and all these people are cheering me on, but no one is asking me how I'm doing. Nobody is asking me if I'm sleeping, if my wellness is okay, how my mental health was doing. And I remember saying, when I had transitioned out of the company and decided I'm going to launch my own business and help other people get their businesses off the ground, I'm going to be a mindful business coach through this. I'm not going to allow people to sacrifice their life source for a business, especially in health and wellness. How counterintuitive is that? And it happens all the time when I see practitioners who are so burnt out and they're preaching health and wellness and all of these things that they have no time to actually do for themselves.
Yeah, that's so interesting. What a fascinating journey and an interesting story. And it got you thinking about your next iteration of your entrepreneurial journey. And you were feeling a little burned out, and you said to yourself, I'm going to open something up, and I'm going to take a personal interest not only in the business of my clients, but also their health, and wrap it in a nice, neat bow. I mean, it's really remarkable. Now, while I've got you here on the Zoom call, we're talking about people that reach out to you. They've heard about the ZenBoss Academy. Samantha, of course, your testimonials are remarkable on the website. I think people call you Sammy, or some of the people on the website call you Sammy as well. So, Samantha, when an entrepreneur reaches out to you, what's the thing that kind of you say to yourself, that's very interesting that they don't know that thing? For example, are they so excited about their technology or their mind that they're forgetting about the client and the client's needs? What's the thing that sort of surprises you when you talk to younger entrepreneurs that want to get into entrepreneurship?
I would say, do I have time for two quick things? Okay. One is how quickly they want to jump to marketing before they have set a foundation for themselves. How quickly people want to just jump on Instagram and learn content creation, and the amount of money people are pouring into these different things to teach them how to use social media before they've actually set the foundation of who they are as the CEO, as the entrepreneur, and what it is that they have to offer, validating and testing that to save themselves so much time before you go into the marketing piece. So that's one. Don't skip that step. It's going to end up saving you a lot of time and money if you don't. That's one. And then the second thing is, I was taught, my dad was also an entrepreneur, and by my mentors coming up, is the value of people and relationships. And when you can slow down and open your heart and connect with somebody, when you could be a connector for somebody and not expect anything in return, send them somebody that they're looking for, send them an opportunity, cheer them on. When you can actually build a relationship with someone, that is going to be a better marketing and sales strategy than you could ever imagine, because they will open doors for you and introduce you to people and give you opportunities that will skyrocket your success. So the second thing is really the focus on relationship with people. Spend time learning about people, developing relationships with them, with your clients, and then also mentor strategic partners, like I mentioned before.
I love it, Samantha. Of course, the ZenBoss Academy is, has such great success. You've helped so many people on their road to entrepreneurship, and so many people are helping other people. So it's sort of this way to pay it forward, because when you have someone that comes to ZenBoss, they go through your 4-month program. Of course, you're always there every step of the way. You're always a phone call or a text away. But when you start to see them impacting other people's lives, it's such a great way sort of to move forward, because when you wake up in the morning, there's your clients that are helping their clients in their health and wellness and making the world a better place. Because when people feel better, when they're feeling healthy, When their mind and body and spirit are sort of this cohesive unit, they're able to do much better and in more impactful things in the world, bring more light into the world. The world can be a dark place. And when these healthy sort of, this healthy army you're building is bringing a lot of light into the world. And I love that so much. Now, Samantha, I know you've only cut out a certain amount of time, but before we go, let's talk about entrepreneurship, because we have younger entrepreneurs watching the show. And they might be saying to themselves, I'm hitting a wall. I'm hitting a tough time right now. I'm hitting a pothole in the road. I'm freezing in the frame. I don't know what to do here. I'm a young entrepreneur. I've never seen this before. Maybe you can give some advice to the younger entrepreneurs watching the show about what it takes to get through sort of a pothole in the road in business.
Got to talk about it with people that you trust and respect. I would say one of the most powerful parts of entering a community like ZenBoss Academy or hiring a coach that you really resonate with, that their success looks like the kind of success that you want to have, is that when people start to share in those safe spaces, just getting out of your head, sometimes all you need is to voice it, to find the way to get unstuck and to move through. And there's so many people who have left those success breadcrumbs for you, and you got to find them, and you have to invest your time, sometimes money, and your energy into it. It's going to make things a whole lot easier. Don't do it by yourself. It's not worth it.
It's such great advice. It really is the way to go, to surround yourself with mentors, to ask the right questions. Like you mentioned, success, a successful entrepreneur, there are breadcrumbs that lead to becoming successful, and you can find those breadcrumbs. And whether you reach out to a mentor or take a class or go to ZenBoss Academy, and of course, learn it as a cycle, learn it as something that you can progress with, learn it as a step-by-step methodology to get from point A to B. That always makes so much sense. And especially when the people you're talking to care about you so much. And of course, in your particular case with ZenBoss Academy, they get you, they get your system, they get your team, they get your passion, they get your experience, they get your background. And they also get someone that's been there and done that and understands sort of the pitfalls already. So you keep them out of the potholes the best that you can by taking the academy. And that's really remarkable, because when you try it on your own, there's a lot of pitfalls, a lot of potholes, a lot of walls. But when you have somebody walking you through it, Samantha, like you walk your clients through it, you keep them out of those potholes and pit holes and stop them from hitting those walls that otherwise they're probably going to hit without having your great expertise, your great advice, and of course, taking your courses with the academy. So Samantha, this has been absolutely remarkable. I need to bring you back on the show again. There's so many things to uncover here. Let's wait a couple months. I know that you're going to get a lot more clients coming in for the academy. For the people that want to take the academy, just tell them where they go, and we'll put some links underneath so that they can understand how they can contact you.
Absolutely. You can head to my website, samanthabove.com /ZenBoss Academy. And you can follow us on Instagram at ZenBoss Academy. You can follow me on Instagram at samantha.bove. And I would say those are the best places for now.
Awesome. Well, listen, this has been remarkable. The time's just flown by. Again, I'm going to bring you back, maybe schedule an hour with you, because there's so much to unpack and so much to uncover, not only about your experience and your background and sort of your story, but also you've got great things sort of on the platforms for what you're thinking about. Because you mentioned earlier in the interview, you want to be forward thinking about things 10 months out, 10 years out, what people need and want. And I know you're already thinking about that. So Samantha, thank you so much for coming on the DotCom Magazine Entrepreneur Spotlight Series today. This has been awesome.
Thank you so much. This was a blast.